What's going on, everyone? It's me, Jordan, and today we're going to be talking about For Honor. Now, one thing that really annoys me about games sometimes, and it happens a lot nowadays, are games that are fun at its core, but are brought down by some small issues, but tend to affect the game a lot, and really bring down the fun experience you can have in the game. For Honor is probably one of the clearest examples you can get for that kind of thing. So this is my For Honor review. I'm going to give you guys my review and try and push forward a conversation to carry on after watching this video. So how is For Honor? It's a very good game. In fact, it's a great game at its core. It's very addicting and it's very satisfying. It feels fresh, it doesn't feel kind of ripped off of anything. And for anyone that hasn't bought this game yet, you need to understand this before you go in, is that you must learn how to play. And there is a huge learning curve in this game. You've got to practice. As simple as that. You can't expect to just jump into a multiplayer game after perhaps playing the campaign, because you will get shat on. You must do some practice and watch the technique videos, or just watch some YouTube videos as well of how to fight. Because you're going to need some help, because the game will not hold your hand when you're in a multiplayer match. So that's one thing you must take into consideration if you buy this game, is that you have to take some time to learn how to play it as much as enjoy it. The combat system is very deep. It's incredibly satisfying, especially when you win a very close fight. And that's the other thing I like about For Honor, is that it's completely skill based. If you lose, it's your fault. Every single move in the game does have a counter to it, although some do in the end feel kind of cheap. There's such things as like people pushing you off cliffs, or pushing you into spikes on the walls, or black holes scattered around the map. Even though they can be countered, you will most likely not nail it every single time. Occasionally though, you will come across these players who just do the same move over and over again, which then pretty much gives you an advantage, because now you have a more of a better prediction of how your enemy is going to attack you. And there are 12 characters in this game to choose from, and they're all unique in their own way. And it's up to you really on which one fits your playstyle, and they're all there for you. And the game has a lot of replay value to it as well. You really do want to go back and play the game again to get better at it. You might get your ass kicked from time to time, but you do want to go back and play it because you want to get better at it. Despite all those good things I've had to say about it, I can't help myself but think that the negatives are kind of overshadowing the game more than the positives are. Not to say that the game is terrible, but these negatives need to be talked about. The story mode in the game is terrible, if you can call it a story mode, because it doesn't really feel like it. The characters are forgettable, there hardly is any story. The only time I can really feel any sense of story is the final cutscene at the end of the game. It gets repetitive as it goes on. There's not really enough variation to go with. I mean, they try and mix it up a bit by having a horse chase and a rope climb, or fight an elephant from now and again, but it really doesn't feel fleshed out enough for me. If anything, it's nothing more than an advanced tutorial, so that's the only thing I can say about the story. There's a lack of game modes, I would say. There's 1v1, 2v2, 4v4 skirmish, which is deathmatch basically, 4v4 elimination, and Dominion. Even though that's 5 modes, I kind of do wish there were more. But I've talked to people about this, and we're kind of confused on which modes would kind of work in a game like For Honor. I've got 3v3, CTF, an extraction mode, or a VIP mode, and you could kind of have maybe an operations mode, kind of like in Battlefield, where one team attacks, one team defends, and the attacking team have got to capture points, and then move up to another section of the map and capture another point, and do it again and again until they reach the end, while the defending team have to defend that. Now, probably some of those modes won't work, but I'm just naming modes because I do really feel like we need some new ones in there as well. Dominion mode is fun, but at times it can get very annoying. You can get some massive gangbang fighting that goes on where, 3 people will team up on one player, which gives you no chance. Sometimes the revenge mode can save you, but hardly. It makes you basically last a little bit longer, that's it. Also, higher level gear. Now, this hasn't really had much of an impact yet, but during the next few weeks, upcoming weeks and months, we will see the massive difference that experienced players have over new players. Usually it's around when you get to about armor rating 108 you'll start to see the ridiculously unbalanced gear, where some will have like unlimited stamina, or maximum attack rating, or maximum defense rating. It will make it completely unfair for new players. And that's also to mention the awful player ranking search in matchmaking, where you could be a level 1 and you'll search for a game and you'll get put in a game with like all prestiges. So there's no real chance for the new players to kind of get a chance to get a couple kills or anything like that, so that's a bit of a problem. The loading screens take ages. Sometimes you can wait minutes for the game to load. But the biggest problem is, and I'm sure many people will agree, is the server connection. For this game, they use the peer-to-peer connection for matchmaking. If you don't know what peer-to-peer is, it's basically where a random player in the lobby is chosen to host the server, and the problem is with that, is that if he quits at any time in the game, then the entire lobby will crash. Everyone will get kicked out, and it was all because of one player. Also, if one player from that lobby leaves, the game will pause for a couple of seconds, so it loads a bot in, so it can fill his place, which annoys me as well. Not only that, but at the end of a match, you can obviously ready up for the next game. But if too many players leave, you will get kicked out of the server, and you will also get kicked out of your party if you're in one. So you'll have to invite all your friends back in again, which will get really infuriating. Now this doesn't happen once a day or twice a day, this happens a lot. I say to anyone who plans to buy this game, I'd say averagely maybe every hour and a half maybe at most, you will encounter this issue. So this really ruins the whole game experience for me and for everyone else. So this brings me back, why do so many games end up being so good but get held back by the easiest issues that could be fixed? I just don't get why Ubisoft can't host their own servers. Why do they have to have this advanced peer-to-peer system, as they say? It's a double-edged sword. It might work or it might not, because you don't know if that player is going to have a good connection for the host, because it randomly chooses. It doesn't check like who has the best one, it just randomly chooses. So this person might have a terrible connection, and he'll get host, and the game will be a nightmare for everyone to play. And having a beta, an open beta, a week before the game came out was pointless. So when it was over, no one really had time to go on and post their concerns or bug reports or anything like that for Ubisoft to go ahead and fix before release. There was no time. And with a £30 season pass, at least in the UK it's £30, I don't know what it is in the US, it's probably like $35 or something like that, but a £30 season pass is only making it worse. That's going to split the player base up even more, and after time I think some of us will find it hard to find games. So all in all, For Honor is a very, very good game, but as I've just mentioned all of those negatives, it's very, very surprising that my rating for this game is going to be a 7 out of 10. Like, you would think after all those negatives I've had to say about the game, I'm saying maybe 4 or 5, but that just shows like how good the game actually is, and it's a shame that some of these games that come out are so good and addicting and fun, but just tend to be brought down by stupid issues that should be fixed and should be looked at. And I hope that there's going to be like some updates and fixes to the game soon. And there's no doubt in my mind there is no doubt in my mind that there will be a sequel to this game, 100% sure. And they might bring in new factions, take us to new places. So that's my review for Honor. Tell me your thoughts in the comments of what you guys think if you've played it, or if you're going to buy it, or if you're not going to buy it, you tell me what. So you leave likes, leave dislikes, and comments, whichever you want. And I'll see you guys all again soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.